Welcome to the second episode of F'nAround.
All right, hey guys, welcome back.
Oh yeah, happy
First
to be
episode
back.
was great, huh?
We weren't canceled already, guys.
We did really amazing from last week. Actually, that was incredible. We actually very amazingly hit over 25%. We're in the top 25% of podcasts. We've hit 3 different continents and 56 different cities in the U.S. alone, and we're hitting more with every day that goes by.
Well, shout out to us, huh? Fuck.
About time.
Yay!
You shouted out everyone else last week. Time to shout us out.
Time to shout out.
Right? Shout out to the F'nAround.
Yeah.
So, as a recap, what do you guys think about like last week's podcast? What do you guys think about what we talked about?
I think our first 3 episodes, I guess as we called it, went great. Seamless. You know, it seemed like we clicked well. There wasn't a lot of dead air between us. We didn't have a hard time coming up with things to talk about. I think we're way ahead of where I even thought we would be at this point.
Oh, yeah.
That's honestly the feedback I've been getting from everyone. They said they couldn't believe the production value and how well it went for the first episode. Shout out to you, Mo. Yeah, that production
was a lot of work into it.
And our production team, which wanted to remain nameless, so we'll just call them the production team.
Yeah, the rest of the team,
I would like to shout out Odyssey Studios, who helped us out with.
All right, Odyssey Studios. They did want to get a shout out, I guess.
He did a great job. I don't know if anyone knows this, but he did have some filming stuff we'll do that maybe in the future we'll clip, but
post it up soon enough.
Yep.
I'll be working on those over some time. It's going to take me some more time.
No rush. Nobody wants to see my face anyway. That's why you keep duct taping me.
All right. So I did want to say that we do have a very big interview next week on Saturday. I would hope you guys stay tuned in there. It's a very special guest that we're going to be doing on set for. So that's going to be a first for us to do.
We're going on a field trip.
Yes,
we're going to go on a field trip. It's going to be a fun field trip to go to. It's going to be interesting.
Won't be dropping Saturday, probably, but we will be recording it Saturday, right?
I'll try to drop it off on Saturday, hopefully. If not Saturday, I'll have it done within the next day or so.
Now, are we allowed to say where we're going and who we're talking to?
Let's keep it a surprise for them. Let's keep it a surprise for the people for now, right? Mystery surprise, right?
Everyone likes a little bit of mystery. Have you guys got feedback from other people, by the way?
I've heard that it was really good. I haven't really had like any specifics, unfortunately. I wish I kind of got like a little bit more feedback from like the people who have listened to it. But other than like it was really interesting. That was basically mostly what I got from it. Yeah.
I got some positive feedback. I didn't really tell a whole lot of people about it, I guess.
Well, the rest of the world did.
Right. The world did a fine job. Thank you to the interwebs for, spreading it around. I just didn't want to I didn't know how it was going to go, so I wasn't sure. I wanted, to plug my family to listen to it.
Too late. I plugged my family. I put it on every social media there was, and I'm still pushing it. I mean, I spent 2 hours on FaceTime with Peru the other night with somebody over there talking to me about it and their regulations and what's going on, and couldn't believe how messed up our whole system was. So.
The country of Peru.
Yeah, the country of Peru.
Because there's Peru, Illinois.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about that, buddy.
We got a lot of weird cities in this. Peru's and London's, and Cairo's,
Lebanon's, and all
Wakanda. We got Wakanda.
Wakanda, Havana. Those are all in Illinois.
I know. We haven't even left the state yet.
Yeah.
Episodes, and that's because originally it was supposed to be 30-minute episodes that we are going to do, but we had so much to talk about, so much information to give out, and when I was going through it myself, I didn't really want to cut off the conversations that we were having. It was a good flow with everything that was going through, so I decided to keep it all as in one episode. I wanted to have especially like the bigger stories out there, at least starting off with it, so we can show everybody what it is that we've been going through.
Absolutely. And I mean, the notes I got were it's long. Right? and I understood it. But look, it's a work in progress. We're learning as we go. You know, we don't really know what we're doing, so it's great
We're
to
figuring
like
it out
push
as
it,
we go
you know,
along.
kind of figure it out right as we go along.
We also got a lot more stories than that. I was just straight to
Right,
the surface.
right. I mean, we got so much to talk about. You know, Joe and I started a list, just, you know, and I know Mo is on it. He hasn't contributed to it yet, but
Not as big as a degenerate as we are.
we started a list, and I mean, just in the first 2 days, we must have had 100 lines in this notepad put together. And I mean, you know, and it just kind of mashes together. A lot of these things, you don't even know who it's coming from.
Right.
You can't tell.
Literally, I don't know who it's coming from. I was reading through it. I was like, who's
That would be a fun episode of how we started when we get to the list. Mo goes through the list and he goes, "This sounds interesting."
Oh yeah, and he can guess.
You know, that's actually kind of what I was thinking about doing. I swear to God, I was thinking about the same exact thing. I'm just reading through the list and it's random, like, dude, this sounds like you, Mike. What the fuck is this?
I'm like, nope, it was me.
Because some of them we do say, you know, Mike or Joe
Right.
or Jalot did this, Jalot does this, Joe does this, you know, so there were some of those stories, but really that was just a reference for the person to remember, you know, the story line or the subject line that we had written down. But yeah, I am so excited to get into just some of the stuff that we have planned for this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, we're still going to stick to the truth, the facts, the justice, and try and push the advocacy because, I mean, we have a chance to make a difference. And, I mean, you guys know we have politicians, elected officials, we have corporate entities reaching out, and other people not only trying to stop us and silence us, but at the same time trying to say they appreciate what we're doing and that we're actually bringing forward things that are hidden behind, you know, boardrooms.
Speaking of which, I've recently heard about labs testing for some mold on cannabis. What's
I've been going all over LinkedIn with that, going crazy. I've been saying that months ago. I was yelling at it. James and I, you know, the CEO of 312, we were going back and forth on it because of the fact that, I mean, these labs, you know, they have that wiggle room. I mean, if you pay enough, you pay a little, they'll wiggle that stuff 15% in percent, and they'll change it around. You never really know what's going to come or what you're going to get or how close to it is. I mean, look at they're shutting down labs. And if the problem is, and the biggest issue is if a lab shuts down enough places or if a lab gives too low results, they're going to take their business somewhere else.
Yeah.
And they're going to find a lab that gives them the results they want.
Like there was that lab in, Long Island? I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago. Dude got busted for cooking meth in his lab, you know, and it was,
I didn't hear about that.
and what the lab, his business was actually for was testing THC for grow operations.
And he was wearing,
And after hours he was cooking meth.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I forget where it was. It was somewhere in New York. I know that for sure. I want to say it was Long Island, but I don't remember the exact city. And I want to say it was one of those like. You know, I happen to listen to Q101 a lot in the mornings, and I think it was like they were doing like hey, we're going to talk about this. We got 2 different news articles. We can talk about this one or that one, and obviously everybody wants to know about
the meth lab
that got busted.
Remember that movie where the guy, hey, you guys, it's James. You know, 312 CEO?
So the CEO is the...
I say his name 3 times already?
Yeah.
Should I answer it?
Yeah, we might as well. Put it on. Fuck it.
Hey, James, what are you doing, buddy?
What's good, my boy? I'm just talking with.
What's going on, James?
Let me get him in on the call.
Hey, James, hold up real quick before you say anything. We're recording right now.
Yeah, we're doing the podcast, buddy. You're going to be live on this.
Wait, what happened? What'd you say? I was merging in stuff.
I was letting you know that you are currently being recorded on the F'nAround podcast because you called in while we were doing the podcast.
And I did not feel like turning my phone on silent in case there was an emergency.
Oh, no shit.
So,
Son's getting ready to head over to Tommy's show when we were just talking about the podcast, actually.
oh yeah, Tommy Band's one of the featured artists for 312. We love him.
Shout out to Tommy. What up, Stun? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Good, Mr. Taylor. Nice to hear from you.
We're just kind of debriefing on last week's episode and kind of going through how we thought about it, you know, the reach and how big of a, you know, interest piece this was and how much publicity it's gotten. I mean, the media hasn't talked about it, but I mean, what were those stats again there, Mo?
It was top 25% within a week. Their first podcast, too. Crazy numbers.
3 continents, 50-some cities.
56 cities.
U.S. cities.
U.S. cities.
It was crazy.
Well, I'm glad you think it's crazy. What, did you enjoy it, or do you have any insights on it?
I loved it, but
everything that I speak on with the Laughing Around podcast, from my point of view, is what I think about it. I think it was awesome. But there's a lot of things that you guys didn't touch. Well, not that you didn't touch, but there's a lot of things that the people in the world, they don't know. So one of the main things is about how they treated that one guy. What's his name?
Juan.
Juan
Finch. Yeah, Juan Finch.
Yeah, like they did him dirty, like unnecessarily dirty, and just the whole aura behind what they got going on, especially with like the Underground Railroad and the black community. I don't think a lot of people understand what they're doing and what's going on.
Yeah, well, that's why we're doing this right now. We wanna help people, or at least show people that the hidden things that are happening behind everything. You know, the stuff that people normally don't see, the stuff that's behind closed doors. You know, so to speak.
You know, there's two countries here. There's the country for the people with the money and the power, and then there's the country for the rest of us.
Everyone's just trying to survive, and sadly, that one country doesn't care about the other one.
Right.
A question: the Underground Railroad statement on how they thought that they could lead people to a certain place.
Yeah.
Do people really understand what the actual Underground Railroad was?
I don't think they do.
It's probably one of the worst things ever, next to Hitler. How they had to survive and escape. And I don't think people know that. And just to make, I don't, like, from my point of view, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but to think, if I read this right, if I heard right, from my point of view, they really thought that they can put a destination and they thought all black people would just, like, convert there and go? Like, am I saying that right? Is that what they thought?
So it was a brand they were going to make. It wasn't a dispensary. What they're going to make is a product called the Second Station with the North Star on it and a railroad, because, you know, in their mind, from what I remember when I was sitting there and how I viewed it when they were talking to me, was if you put the North Star and an Underground Railroad on it, all black people will follow that star to their bottom lines and profit. And it wouldn't have been in their slogan they went out. It was just their inside, behind closed doors process of what they were thinking of how this should be marketed and done and why it would be beneficial to them. So they spent weeks working on this. Yeah, that was their marketing
campaign. A marketing campaign, Joe?
That was going to be their marketing campaign until they stole that Interstate 420 brand from me, because myself and Jerry Valentino created this and put this together, this idea and this brand. And we basically convinced them that, yeah, you can't do Second Station. You could never do this. In what world do you think of a Colombian girl and a white boy from Harvard could put this concept out there and make this be a good brand? This is a white Irish-owned company with not one minority on the board of color that has significance to this atrocity. So Interstate 420 was our concept, and luckily we were able to convince them to go the other way. But as I said, they spent weeks building out this brand and marketing idea that, you know, this would actually get all the black people behind them, and they can get all the minorities to support this brand and buy it wherever they sold.
So basically, because what they see on the outside, looking in as black or minority on the streets, and how black people like weed. So basically, they don't understand the role of race in captivity. Black people travel underground in the railroad to create verdict strategies to be free citizens, but they travel at night so white abolitionists could not see them.
But to me,
why would they think that's a good idea? First off, as they say, again, my opinion based, how do they know black people could follow the North Star? Besides the person who led them to freedom. How would they know that?
So,
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Well, like, to me, it seemed, or like the way it looked like to me is, it looked like they kind of knew what they were doing, and they did not really care. They were doing this for that reason of holding people in to basically sway their look on them, while realizing how much of a honestly fucked up, you know.
Yeah, you know what you got. Stunt actually talks about this stuff all the time. What you have is you have a bunch of powerful people with money that think that they can cater to the minority class or use the minority class to their advantage to increase their bottom line, and that's just per the usual. And Joey could probably attest to this a little bit more. That goes on a lot more in business than you think, and it's actually pretty sad.
So here's a good example of it, and something we all know. Aunt Jemima.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Exactly. Aunt Jemima, right? How long did it take, for that? Now it's what? Pearl Milling Company or something, or Land O'Lakes Butter. They took the Native American off. What else?
They use them as a face,
right?
Gain as much people as they can to follow their company, their slogan, or whatever. And then after they become big enough, then they completely remove them. They completely erase their history or their whatever work that they had. It's gone right.
Right. Another good example, Famous Amos. The cookies, right?
Right.
He's a real guy, and he sold part of his company, and he got pushed out of his own company, and then it turned into the global giant that it is. He died recently. I want to say this summer. In Hawaii, back where he was living, and he had restarted a cookie company, but it was just like a bakery, right? But he couldn't use his fucking name from his company that he started because some, and I'm not gonna, point fingers or anything, but somebody fucked him over, right? At some point, some way, shape, or form, some point in time. I don't remember, who it was or, what color they were. But, I know that Famous Amos was a black man. He was really good at what he did. He started a business to do what he did. That business took off, and then
Ray Kroc found him.
Maybe? I don't know. Again, I don't know who did it. No, I know who Ray Kroc is. What I'm saying is I don't know, maybe. I don't remember.
I mean, depends on his personality.
Right, but the same, Aunt Jemima,
His name is Wally Amos.
Yeah. He was, like I said, he was a real guy.
He was a real guy. He was in 1975.
Here we go. Stunt nose.
He helped a lot of people convert to his brand, his cookie brand. So, the first cookie store, if I'm not mistaken, was in Los Angeles, the chocolate chip cookie. So a lot of people don't know that they pushed him out because of who he was.
Yeah.
And they didn't want his face on the brand because in 1975, they didn't believe that his face being on the brand would sell.
Right.
Especially sell on TV. The majority of people, I think maybe that they thought that black people or any other minority did not have TVs nor cable.
Right, but it was also okay. It was okay with society back then. Like it was still the.
It was definitely okay.
The Aunt Jemima stuff was everywhere still.
But I guess
it was 5 years away from 1969, so it was definitely.
But I guess some people think it's still okay today.
Right. Well, I mean, we're seeing it. It's just
people
they've just got a little more hidden with it, right?
Yeah.
And
I don't know why they still think it's 1793.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no way that anything racist like this can happen because I love everybody, right? So the thing is, what we don't want is for everybody to start listening to like this raw ass podcast right here, where all the information is being dropped about crazy people. They don't want people to hear this and come together and go against them.
Right.
This is something that they don't want.
Right. They do not want the masses organized.
Yes, and I don't know if people know this, but black people are not the minority anymore. So that's the crazy part about it. I don't know if you guys know that. If I'm not mistaken, they take over the population about 16% more than Caucasian people. Yeah. And the Spanish culture is taking over as well. As we see what's going on now.
I can't dispute it.
I don't know if the
I'll
numbers
say
are
that I
correct.
know it's growing.
I don't know the facts and
I don't know
stats on
what
that
the
either,
trends.
but I do remember being in school with Mike when we were kids and seeing that that trend was going to happen in the future. I just don't remember what date that was supposed to occur.
They told us in high school
Yeah.
that the majority of the United States was going to be black at some point, and that the majority religion of the world was going to be Muslim, which I blew my mind, that part. But, I don't mind, but, there are a lot of Muslim people in the world.
Believe whatever you want to believe.
So,
Yeah, those are called core principles of socialism.
yeah.
They think that people are going to just follow anything that they say. As you see now, right? You see a lot of people converting to being Muslim. Again,
Yeah.
I love everybody. I'm not Muslim per se, but I do know a lot of Muslim brothers. And I have read the Quran. Or tried to, not read it because it's in Arabic, but my Quran
The translation
brothers
of
have
it.
explained it to me. Yes, yes.
Oh, by the way, shout out to Ignatius for teaching Mike and I a little bit about society and not being racist and being good people.
Yeah, shout out St. Ignatius College Prep,
No.
Chicago, Illinois.
And I'm
Roosevelt
loving what
Road.
you're getting into, Stunt. And we always want you on this stuff, but as long as I got you on the phone and you get a chance to plug it, what are you working on? You got any projects you want to plug? I mean, we can get back to like the nitty gritty stuff, but you're here. Plug what you got to plug, buddy.
Yeah, man. First off, let me just say this, man. F'nAround is like one of the best podcasts out right now. I don't care what nobody says. If motherfuckers don't get on it now, the wave is going to be crazy when we're sitting in front of ESPN and we're sitting in front of all of these big outlets and we talking our shit and they can't mute us. And the next thing they're going to do is try to P. Diddy us. But anyway.
Whoa! Nobody brought some baby oil in this room.
Don't bring that up.
No baby oil in this room.
Man.
Nothing but consent is huge.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Aren't you the one that make men consent your campaign again? Come on.
Yes, that was it.
Hey, no means no, all right?
No absolutely means no.
And a yes can also turn into a no. Okay?
Mike knows that very well.
If you want to, turn on some crazy shit, that yes can turn into a no real fast, okay? And you got to say okay.
That was a little humor, man. But yeah, man, I got some. First off, man, shout out to Tommy, man. He's opening up for a big artist tonight, and
Who's he opening
blessings
for?
to him. Waka.
Oh, wow. All right.
Wow, that's actually crazy.
So Tommy is actually first place right now. I believe in the next hour he will take first place for ticket sales for his show at the Town in Aurora. And he will be opening up for Waka Flocka in 2 weeks, it looks like now. So,
All right.
Hey, now,
Shout out to Tommy. Shout out to Waka.
Yeah. Tommy
Waka,
Baker.
if you listen to our show and you like us, we'd love to show up.
the 3-1. Shout out to my manager. He hates when I say his first name, but shout out to JJ, man. Shout out to Joey. Shout out to Tink. And, we got some, and shout out to Freddie, man, for putting all the pieces in order, man. We got some, I don't know how this, like, folded the way it did. It's really unorthodox, but it's crazy. But I'm with it, though, like, whatever. But yeah, we're working on this Stunting on Turbo 2 project with my team, and I got some politics songs I'm gonna be putting out, man, and I know I'm probably not supposed to say this, but we might have a F'nAround theme song coming soon. So.
Oh,
You got a nice little surprise for us, huh, JJ? You forgot to tell me. You're gonna come on you're gonna come out here live and play it for us, right? You're gonna start the show with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be live, man.
Yeah, we'll premiere it here.
Yup.
Featuring you guys, bro. I seriously like the podcast, and I'm manifesting it. I see it. It's something's crazy gonna happen.
Yeah, we feel it, Stunt. We do, man. We feel it too.
It's dope. So
And it's not just the Taco Bell July 8.
I've actually never been to a Taco Bell.
Really?
Never.
I'm just waiting on my invite to come down to the studio.
No, you got an invite when you want it. I mean, we're doing some, we can't tell you where or what, but we're doing a filming next weekend. If you got Saturday morning available, we're going to do it with some actually community leaders, and we're going to talk with them and hear their story.
Yup.
I will be there.
All right, perfect. We'll take that offline because we don't want to spoil the surprise to the public, but tomorrow morning. Saturday morning, I mean.
Saturday
Next Saturday.
morning.
Or whatever.
Not tomorrow.
Man, this has been awesome. This very short segment that we touched on, and I hope everybody's listening. Like, I'm not a politic. I'm just an educated black man who went to college and knew that I needed to learn something in history. So I just thought that I would always pay attention and keep my nose in the books. So, yeah, I'm not a politician. Don't quote me on things that I say. Everything is from my opinion, what I think. And I got a voice. And if my voice is heard, it's going to be crazy because I got a lot of shit to say. So,
And we're all about making noise here.
Yes.
Yeah. Loud voices.
Shout out to Stunt for calling in with JJ. JJ, thanks for interrupting the calls. Don't worry.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
I will silence my call in the future. My phone is silencing in the future thanks to this. I learned my
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah.
JJ set me up, man. We're gonna call Joey right quick and talk about the EP or the mixtape, and I'm like, all right.
Oh, so he knew. James knew what he was
JJ
doing.
knew when we were recording. He knew when we were
He
recording.
had to find out.
He planned this out. He set us up.
I'm like, hold on, they're filming right now. Like,
Yeah.
why are you calling him?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, and then we spent so much time on this now that, we're going to have to cut short the rest of the show. But that's okay. That's okay. We got plenty to talk about.
But, gentlemen, let's be honest. I think that the audience and the people would rather hear the debrief from your mouth and your opinion, Stunt, than,
Yeah.
Than us.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. It worked out great, and I don't think anyone wants to hear my voice anymore.
Well, hey, I got a question. What else from the podcast did you like, Stunt? What else did you like? What else from the podcast
He
were
wants
you
you
a
to boost
fan
his
of?
ego, Stunt.
Not my ego. It's our egos.
First off, you have a wonderful presentation voice. You sound very fucking important, even though you are very important, man. Like, you stand out, bro. So that's one thing I like about you three. Your voices are very projective and it's very powerful, and you guys sound, because I know that you know what you're talking about, you guys sound so confident in what you say. And I want people to understand that, man. The more confident you are, the more of an interest that people take to you guys. And I think this is awesome that what you three are doing. So, like, I really took that from the podcast, and you guys, y'all know y'all shit. Like, it's dope.
All right. Thanks, man.
I'll say it for you. You're the best person on the podcast.
Jay, I wasn't looking for a pat on the back or a boost to the ego. I was just, I don't like the sound of my own voice, so I only listened to 15 minutes of the podcast.
It was a Tinder story.
Yeah, dear. Oh, did I tell a Tinder story? Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I'm gonna go back with Stunt. We got a few things to talk about before he slides over to Tommy's, but
Tommy Bands.
a lot more. It looks like.
We're looking forward to it. Shout out to you, JJ. Shout out to you, Stunt. Thank you for calling in. I mean,
Appreciate the phone call out here.
appreciate the phone call, and we'll take this offline to schedule everything for next week because we'd love to have you with us.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. Appreciate you guys.
All right, take it easy, brother.
Bye, guys.
Okay,
was
so
nice.
that was
That was good.
that was cool and that was unexpected, and now that's what we're going to talk about now because we kind of have to. So let's do it.
Elias.
I mean, honestly, I think we went over a pretty good debriefing of everything. There isn't really too much else to put into
Well,
it.
there is.
Is there? What do
We got plenty. So
How many people bamboozled you this week on Tinder?
I haven't really been swiping this week. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't
You haven't been
been.
swiping, or they haven't been swiping back.
Well, it does take two to tango.
I wish you guys could see his
But
face.
if-
I really wish.
You
You can see his face. You can
We
see
should have
it.
had you
If you
call
don't-
on it today.
You see if he got caught. I see his foot.
if you don't get on the dance floor, you don't got to worry about having a partner. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've been swiping, but I don't have any stories. I'm sorry.
All right.
I got nothing.
We'll wait until next week.
It's all been very vanilla.
Very vanilla.
Nothing fun to report about that in that rant.
How many catfishes out there? How many?
They're all catfish.
They're all
It's like
catfishes.
90%. I swear to God.
By the way, I was serious, Waka. I do want to backstage. We'd love it. We'll shoot backstage. We'll do the podcast. We'll interview. I know you're not going to listen and give it to us, but if you do listen, you do like our show, and you do like what we're trying to do. We'd love that hookup. Just
Yeah. Tell your friends about us.
We'll make sure Stunt shows
This
up,
is-
so it's not just us.
This is the time where you say like, share, subscribe, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, share, subscribe,
like, share, subscribe.
comment. Give us, if you got
I don't care if
ideas.
you hate us, tell us you hate us.
Yeah,
You love us, tell
let
us
us
you
know
love
your
us.
opinions.
If there's something you want us to talk about,
You
we'll
hate the
talk
sound of
about
my
it.
voice too? Let me know.
You want to hear some more Tinder stories? Let us know.
Yeah, I guess we're
Make
gonna.
more Tinder
Yeah, I
stories.
guess we're gonna. It's gonna have to become a segment now, huh?
Mike's Tinder stories. No,
You can't just. I'm not the only.
Mike's mismatches.
I'm not. Wait. I am not the only single man in this room. Okay.
But you're
I know
going to
Joe.
talk about it.
I know Joe is. I don't know about Mo. He might be waiting for his 72 virgins or something.
Yeah, I got them. They're out there waiting for me.
Wow.
I'll never
Drop
be
that
single.
plane, right?
I'll never be single at all.
Never be single again, I guess.
Never be single out here. Come on.
But I am glad Son's going to come next week. That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah, no, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
Well,
Did you cut it?
No.
I'm going to go. Let's go live. I don't even
I don't know, because there was a lot of dead air. I assumed you were done.
This is why it's funny,
We're
though.
laughing right now.
Okay, so can I follow? I have follow-up
Yeah,
questions.
follow up.
Go up.
All right, so say you have your 72 virgins, right? How do you
Decide?
Which one you?
do you hang out with one for a little bit and then go to the next one, or do you
You watch the
you
Rodney
run
Dangerfield
through all of them?
My First Five Wives.
Yeah.
Remember the Rodney Dangerfield movie, My Five Wives?
Yeah, he only had 5.
And he lost his mind, remember?
Right, 72.
Right.
That's a lot.
So
I don't even
one,
think you got
one
that
every
fair
day.
enough.
One
Right.
every day.
And then-
it's one for every day. That's how you got to do it.
And then here's the other thing: they're virgins.
Right.
That's no experience.
It's
Now
just
you
a
got
lot of work.
now you got to be a fucking sex ed teacher too.
What you do is you teach one, and you get that one to start teaching the other one.
That's how you build a stable, I would assume.
A harem, I guess.
A harem, yeah.
A
Right.
harem, let's stay
We gotta use the right terminology.
Alright. Well, I think this is a good enough right here for the show.
So we'll start setting the precedent that we're going to try and do 30 minute half hour episodes a week. Unless we do the interview, right?
Exactly. Where we need to extend it, we'll extend it. But we're just going to try to shoot 30 minutes or so episodes. Again, stay tuned for next week. It's going to be a very interesting episode with very interesting people to talk to. And, and welcome to the Clover Club, guys, and have a great night.
All
right.
Thanks for effing around with us. I'm Joe.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Mo.
All right.
See you later.